Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on View from the Top. I am Modele Sharafa Yusuf. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong, recently inaugurated a 12-man ministerial committee to restructure sports in Nigeria for effective development. Inaugurating the committee in Abuja, Mr. Dalong charged it to develop a framework which would give birth to Nigeria's renaissance in sports. He directed that the framework should professionalize sports in Nigeria and establish a clear path for all athletes, coaches, and every sector of the sports industry. The committee is also to restructure Nigerian sports from the service-oriented model to a development-oriented enterprise that would enhance effective sports development and recommend ways of reconstituting the sports federations and associations in a way that all stakeholders will have a say to attract a passionate and resourceful leadership. Ministers of sports have for several years been trying to identify major obstacles to sports development in Nigeria and develop a sustainable framework for sports. In his 6 months or so in the saddle, what has the current minister found out and how does he plan to make a difference? Mr. Solomon Dalong joins us on View from the Top today, and I want to thank him very much. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for joining us.
Thank you very much, too.
Here is a quick biography. Mr. Solomon Dalong was born on the 26th of September 1964. He studied law at the University of Jos and was called to the Nigerian bar in 2001. He got his master's degree in law from the same university in 2007. Mr. Dalong had joined the Nigerian Prison Service in 1982 and later served as legal officer at the prison's headquarters. After passing out from the Nigerian Law School, he took up an appointment with the Faculty of Law of the University of Jos as a lecturer in 2004 and was later appointed the chairman of Langtang South Local Government Area in 2007. He also served as the Plateau State Deputy Chairman and later chairman of the Association of Local Government Chairmen of Nigeria. Mr. Dalong served in the Transition Committee of the present administration, and he was named Youth and Sports Minister in 2015. How difficult is it not to get labeled a football minister?
Football is very easy to acquire the facilities, even in a very local environment, because all that is required is just mobilize community effort, clear the field, still cut sticks, and you set the goalpost. The only requirement of money there will just be to buy the football. So because of that, it makes football a bit popular within the local environment. Then the second aspect of it is that our sports content naturally in this country over-patronize football over and above other sports. And then also it over-patronize foreign sports. So when you go to a local environment, you find people admiring and even taking idols, foreign idols, who they've never seen except pictures. Even find Nigerians making tattoo of foreign players and even bearing their names. So these are some of the things that makes football very popular. But as an administrator, as a political leader, I have the mandate to be very fair and just and carry everybody along.
Nigeria has not qualified for 2 Cup of Nations back to back. What do we need to do to rebuild as a nation?
I think naturally in life, when you miss your steps, you need to reflect. And sadly enough, it seems not to be the situation. Even after crashing out, we are not even thinking of what to do. Rather, there are further degenerations and developing excuses as to why we couldn't qualify and trying to fall back on past records to appease Nigerians. But I have challenged the Federation leadership that our inability to qualify twice as a very great nation with a large population, with a large number of youths, we cannot explain by looking back on our past successes. So they must go back and embark on massive reforms. But if they fail, I will, as a minister, move on massive reforms in the football industry to unbundle potentials, to identify talents, develop the talents for the benefits of our teeming population. And we can only do this by going back to grassroots sports development, going back to school sports, to try to encourage young people to come up. Ideally, in my mind, I think we should even not be talking about competitions, even at national, regional levels. No, we should come back and begin to develop, even if it will take us 4 years, to develop our sports, unique Nigerian sports that will be very, very strong, viable, and capable of leading Nigeria to occupy its position.
I remember you said the NFF should revert to you on their need for a foreign coach. Do you think having a foreign coach is the way to go?
Well, the issue of a foreign coach came on board when Nigerians were expressing their dissatisfaction for our inability to qualify. And the federation came up with the issue of a foreign coach as an alternative. But to me, that is just an escapist theory. I accepted that we might not always win, but we cannot also be losing always. Therefore, I told them, I said, well, the issue of a foreign coach, why? We have very capable Nigerian coaches. And a careful investigation disclosed that these coaches are what they are by the virtue of how they have been able to treat them. And I take a good example from being unable to pay coaches for a period of 5 months. A hungry mouth does not listen to the voice of gospel. How can a coach who has not been paid for 5 months will be able to stand and successfully observe a player who will deserve attention and talk to him? Will he be reflecting about what is happening in his house, whether they have eaten? Or will he be reflecting on, after the match, what will he say about the children's school fees? This sum up together determines efficacy in the management of a match. So I don't believe that the issue lies within a foreign coach. In any case, if we are going for a foreign coach, we have no money to pay indigenous coaches. Where shall we get money? Now, even in hard currency, with the high exchange rate, to pay foreign coaches. And if we fail to pay a foreign coach for 3 months, will the story end within the shores of Nigeria? Or will it escalate? Will our image remain the same? To summarize this, I think and I believe that we can develop very, very good, effective coaching system of Nigerians who we should also be able to export to other countries, but not to be talking about bringing a foreign coach as a solution. How long can we go that way?